Hello, YouTube. Hello, Facebook, and other censorship platforms with your own agenda. We all know that the election in 2020 was absolutely 100% illegal with no fraud whatsoever. The movie by Dinesh D'Souza was theater, and he should go to jail for trying to incite a riot. Clearly, the great and powerful idiot, Joe Biden, was elected fair and square, and how dare any of you think otherwise? In fact, if you try to think otherwise, you'll be considered a conspiracy theorist and a terrorist. So if you think there was election fraud, you better unfriend me right now, because I don't want to be associated with your kind. Now that we cleared that up, for the Facebook and YouTube censor bot, here's an interesting phenomenon going on across the country. It appears that the Republicans who believe that voter fraud, because these conspiracy theories, they believe that voter fraud was an issue, are winning elections across the country. Some are even advancing to positions where they could influence running future elections if voters put them in office this fall. I wonder why voters would do such a thing when we clearly have the safest and most fair election system we have ever had. With the paper that you fill in the dots and then walk over to the scanner that eats your paper and spits out a sticker that says, "Thanks for voting." So why would people like Carrie Lake, a former television journalist backed by Trump, focus much of her campaign on claims that President Biden's victory in Arizona was fraudulent, even though the state election officials have found no widespread evidence of that? I wonder why. Supporters of Trump's election fraud claims also scored wins this week in Michigan, another top presidential battleground state. In next week's Wisconsin Republican primary for governor, the top candidates have all backed the former president's claim of widespread election fraud. What is wrong with these people? Nevada Republican voters in June selected former state lawmaker John Marchant, who has been repeating the claims that the 2020 election was stolen from Trump. So why are these people who claim the election was fraud winning primaries? In fact, how can they be winning primaries if the government, who is here to help us through these tough times of election integrity, has proven beyond the shadow of a doubt that Biden was elected fairly? After all, he did get more votes of any president in the history of elections. The guy who had 7 people of his rallies who was while he was running for office? Well, I, for one, believe that the election could not possibly be rigged, because if I believed anything else, you wouldn't be allowed to watch this show on YouTube or Facebook. They would shut me down for violating their community standards. The resurgence is upon us, so vote in November with the intention of making sure that this country can live in fairness and integrity.